This is the Zero, and it's a first for the channel. At first glance, it probably isn't what you think it is. This is a premium, everyday utility knife, and I wanted to understand why people loved this so much. The Zero was very kindly sent to me by Ed from Pocket Perfection. Ed is a fellow South African, which is surprisingly rare in the EDC community, so if you are from South Africa, say hi in the comments. So Ed got in touch and asked whether I'd be interested in reviewing this, and I was really intrigued. It didn't take long. Within just a few minutes of opening the box, I understood exactly what everyone was talking about. The feel, the engineering, the precision, the look. This isn't just a utility knife, it's an object that invites interaction. And that's why it feels so surprisingly at home on Spectrum Boy EDC. The design immediately struck me because it's both beautiful and deceptively simple. Mine is the grenade black finish, and aesthetically, it's exactly the sort of thing that I'm drawn to. It's machined from two solid pieces of metal, and on closer inspection, the more details begin to really reveal themselves to you. There are no screws. Instead, everything is held together by magnets, springs, clever engineering, and precise machining, and it all works together to create something that feels almost effortless. So this one again is quietly brilliant, and that's exactly the kind of design that I appreciate. It's also a significant step above the sort of utility knives that I'm used to using. Most of mine sit in toolboxes. This one lives in the pocket. So this feels like something built to last, like a companion. And naturally, the next question that I found myself asking was, does this count as a fidget? Probably not. Definitely not in the traditional sense. Its primary job is to be an exceptionally well-made utility knife. However, there's something about this mechanism that keeps drawing me back in. I can't help but sometimes pull the slider against the spring. I feel that resistance. Yeah, I fidget with it, letting the magnet pull everything neatly back into place. Sometimes I wouldn't even deploy the blade. I'd stop the motion just before it came out, simply because that little movement is just so satisfying. Would it replace one of my dedicated sliders or other fidgets? No, I don't think that's the purpose of this. Its main function is to be a utility knife that you can sometimes fidget with. More importantly, it's always there. Most fidgets borrow a little bit of utility, but the Zero does the opposite. It's a beautifully engineered utility knife that happens to have a wonderfully tactile experience built into it. I've never really considered myself a knife collector. I've owned knives over the years, although they almost always came from people who meant a lot to me. I remember both of my grandfathers giving me different pocket knives at different stages of my life. Swiss Army knives, simple blades, wood carving knives, but each one felt like a little rite of passage. And sometimes it wasn't just about the knife, it was about growing up. And those knives became companions, reliable, useful, always there when you need them. Somewhere over the last few months, the Zero quietly became that for me too, and reminded me of those bonds and relationships. And because I have it all the time, my family now assumes that if something needs opening, I've got the knife. Whether it's impossible plastic packaging when we're out, groceries, dog food, gardening with the kids, breaking down boxes, assembling a new 3D printer, cutting my finger while doing that, and even celebrating special occasions, moments of achievement. The Zero has quietly become a part of everyday life. So from a practical point of view, the Zero uses standard utility blades. Replacing them couldn't be easier. In fact, I've already bought new blades and changed mine out. So that's one of the joys of a utility knife like this. No sharpening, no fuss. Simply replace the blades and just carry on. I know sharpening is something many knife enthusiasts actually really enjoy doing, but for someone like me, this is perfect, and no other tools needed. Mine also came with a beautifully tied paracord lanyard from Ed, which I tried to improve upon with a spinning pendant, but I failed miserably and I'm still working on getting that improved. I'll show you once I get it right. So I now want to ask you, what do you think of the Zero? It completely changed my expectations, not just because of what it does, but because of how often I found myself reaching for it. So this This definitely isn't like any other knife I've owned, and again is definitely the best one that I have owned. It's become my knife. It's earned a permanent place in my pocket. It's become a trusted companion, and I think that's the highest compliment I can give any piece of everyday carry. It's like the Mary Poppins of knives or utility. Practically perfect. I can't fault it in any way. So a huge thank you once again to Ed and Pocket Perfection for trusting me with this review. I know it's taken me a while to get this video out, however I'm really glad that I spent the time living with it before sharing my thoughts. Now I have one last question for you. Rivery has released the Zero version 2. For the South Africans out there, would you like to see it available here through Pocket Perfection and Ed? Leave a comment, let Ed know. And maybe this is just the beginning of something really exciting for the South African EDC community. So until next time, stay curious, stay genuine, and as always, stay spectrumy.